President Cyril Ramaphosa says heads will roll following the chaos at some of the ports. He visited the Richards Bay port to get a first-hand account of the ongoing challenges. Now, on Monday, Transnet said it was suspending processing of trucks carrying coal to its Richards Bay terminal in order to restore order after unprecedented traffic coming into the port. Let's speak now to Vusi Khumalo, who was there as the President was briefing. Vusi, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I mean, the President and the Minister of Public Enterprise as well, saying that there will be consequence management and that they will also be assessing the skills of those who are tasked with ensuring that these functions are carried out correctly. Let's talk about what then does this look like?
Yes, the situation still remains very bad here in Richards Bay, in and around the city of Richards Bay, known in the municipality as the city of Umhlathuze. You'll recall that as from early as January this year, there's been a gridlock traffic or a huge volume of truck volumes that has been here causing gridlock traffic along the route all the way to Richards Bay Port. From Umtuba all the way to Richards Bay, that will be the N2 as well as the John Ross Highway. So there's been a number of concerns coming from the private sector, the people, the truckers, the people who are using this port in order to export their coal, especially those coming from Mpumalanga, because they were no longer, they're saying that the route is no longer viable for them economically because they were losing a huge amount of money, about 7 billion rand. A number of businesses saying that the economy is being affected badly, especially hitting their pockets because they now have to travel long distances. And also before coming in here to the port of Richards Bay, they will stay for about days on end, 3 to 5 days a week, in order to offload their load that will normally take them just a day. So the problem has been very huge, forcing the local municipality of Umhlathuze to use their traffic personnel in order to man the traffic to this port, which is one of the biggest and also the largest in Africa, carrying about 50 million tons of coal that is being exported to the markets such as Europe and Asia. I must also make a mention that some of these problems were emanated from Russia's invasion of Ukraine, because a number of European markets had no chance since the gas line was closed by Russia. So a number of countries in Europe and Asia were now starting to look elsewhere for the alternative for their energy. So going to South Africa, being one of the coal producers, wanting coal from this country, so they were importing coal. So that, as a result, ensured that forced this route to be used quite more often. And also that this port especially was not initially designed to carry a huge volume of trucks. It was designed the coal to be used, to be carried out by the trains, by the cargo train, on the cargo train. So we also hear that this terminal of Richards Bay, which carries more than 50 million tons of coal, 50 million tons of coal per year, has been severely affected by this traffic. So the President was here in order to resolve the impasse, because the local municipality was complaining about the traffic, and also this port was no longer able to handle the large volume of traffic. So the President came here in order to have that meeting with stakeholders such as the local municipality, as the Transnet, as well as the main stakeholder here, trying to resolve the impact. So he was saying, the President here, the immediate as an interim, that the staging of trucks will have to be increased, especially along the N2 and the John Ross Highway, and a number of private entities have come along in order to help in that regard by availing more spaces, especially along the N2. to ensure that the trucks are being staged just elsewhere so that the routes, these two, especially the N2 as well as the John Ross Highway, are not affected severely. So the president was saying that since all cargo by road to the airport, to the port have been suspended, but at the moment they are trying their level best in order to clear the traffic. But he was saying that maybe in 2 to 3 months' time, they will have the problem solved. But in a very long-term solution, there will be no more problems of this nature as they are trying their level best in order to clear the traffic that is currently here in Richards Bay Port.
Thank you very much, Vusi, for that comprehensive update. And also, of course, we wait to hear then what is coming out of this diagnostic process that the president also says is underway. And as you say, he's looking at early next year to make sure that some of the traffic is dealt with. But interestingly enough, we're also keen to see whose heads then roll and whether or not he believes these skills that are tasked with ensuring that this particular job is done correctly are the ones that are fitting the positions. But let's see then what happens, Vusi. Thank you so much for that comprehensive update.